let's take questions from the audience.
So as actors, what's harder to film? Graphic depictions of sex or violence?
We have to fake the violence. Actually make it, so...
Touche.
Let's talk,
Are you
please.
silent?
I was just thinking it's all good. I mean, it's a good day at work.
Depends on what time of the day, I think.
I prefer to get naked earlier in the day and kill people in the later part of the day. Particularly, anything that's going to be really messy. Because then you're not stuck with it all over you for lunch.
Every single one of us who has to do naked stuff, and let's face it, it's most of us, basically starve themselves, apart from Ryan, who is just this physical anomaly. Joined very quickly by Joe on the end there. And so I would say that doing the physical stuff is more fun because you get to eat as well.
All right, next question.
Working with animals can be extremely challenging. I was wondering, how do you all prepare yourself to work with the animals on set?
Skarsgård isn't so bad once you get used to it.
You know, it's funny, because I've had to work with a few animals on the set. The best trained animal that we've had was the deer that Daphne turned into. And I don't know, the trainer had all kinds of toys and bells and like Carrot Top and all his props. But they seem to do a lot better than the dogs for some reason. I don't know why.
Or the cat.
We had wolves this season, and the wolves are actually really intelligent and they are very observant, so you have to be incredibly still around them. And my first day on set, Stephen and I got to meet the real wolves who we were going to be working with, and we were told things like, now, don't let them smell your fear. They're very powerful. And we met like the 6-month-old baby, that's all we could handle. And we went down and met the 6-month-old baby who promptly knocked me over, just smelling my crotch. And,
That was me, Dennis.
that wolf hat. But the wolves are just extraordinary animals, fantastic animals, and to have the opportunity to be that close to that kind of animal was such a thrill. But they had to work with a hybrid, a half wolf, half dog, to do the actual acting bits, because wolves are, like actors, too neurotic.
It was funny, the hybrids, they had all sorts of funny little tricks to get them to do things, and I had to work with one that had to cock its head and kind of look confused, and they would play ape noises. So I had this guy behind me, like, going, "Ah, ah," like that, and I'm trying to look badass in a vampire.
All right, next question.
Touching on season 4, book 4, how much of a role will Hollow play in season 4?
Well, we just started breaking stories for season 4, and she's definitely a big character. Absolutely.
All right, next question.
First of all, thank you, Ms. Harris, for writing this wonderful My question is for Kristen and Nelson. Basically, the writers have given you wonderful lines to say. What has been your favorite?
Why, there's so many good ones. But I've been hearing and answering to Hooker a lot. So
heard that. In my retort, you know, that was a gift.
Yeah, there's so many. I personally like bitch every time. No, there's so many. I couldn't.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's just.
Right?
I mean,
Every script is just
yeah.
full of gems.
Our writers are so incredible. I would have to give you 20 lines that are my favorite.
All right, next question.
This is a question for Mr. Alan Ball. Throughout your writing career, there's been a constant theme of death and loss. What makes you so interested in this theme?
Well, it's so much fun. You know, I was, as I was growing up, I experienced death firsthand, unexpectedly, and there was a period where like people were just dropping like flies. And obviously, you know, my relationship with that has been kind of a big part of, I guess, what I'm trying to explore as an artist. However, I don't really see this show about death so much, even though it does have probably the biggest body count of anything I've ever worked on. But to me, it seems like to take place in a world where death really isn't the reality that it is in our real lives. And that's part of what makes it such a fun place to visit. You know, I guess, I hope that answered your question.
Next question.
Of all of the characters and creatures on the show, what would you want to be?
What? Cool.
I personally would want to be a shifter.
Yeah, maybe a witch, as that's coming up. I think that sounds cool to have some power, but not have to be 17